Yo, GM. What is up, everybody? GhostcatJoypad here. We are on episode 47 of the Mooncast, and yeah, it's getting crazy here in the space, but we still here. We missed last week's episode, had a lot of stuff going on, still kind of do, so we're trying to keep up with it still. But yeah, we're gonna hop right in. We have our new co-host here, Nopera, so let's get into the VC and get things popping. All right, what's good, bro? GM.
GM Ghost Cat, how's it going, bro?
Pretty good, not too bad. We like to start things off here with some light intros for every episode, in case people hop in, on today's episode. But I'll go ahead and kick things off. I am GhostcatJoypad, the host of the Mooncast here, founder of Moondance and Web3 content creator. We just vibing. Nopera?
Alright, well, I am Nopera. Today I'll be your co-host for the podcast, for the Mooncast tonight. And I am also a Web3 content creator. There's been a lot of that I've done. I would say mainly I would call myself an event host because the thing I've done the most is host game nights and game events.
Nice. Yeah, you do a lot in the space.
Yeah, I can't sum it up no matter how hard I try. Anything from marketing to putting together tournaments, hosting events, and there's been a lot of bouncing around that has taken place.
Yeah, no. The space is growing for sure. So I like to see everybody continue to progress in their journey. So it's cool to see like all the creators like do more and more things and kind of find their niche with content and in the space, especially. So yeah, very exciting. A lot of stuff being built, a lot of stuff that shut down recently too, which sucks, but we're still moving forward. Overall, it's just a good filter, honestly. Filter out all the founders out.
Survival of the fittest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it might.
I agree. I totally agree.
Might be a temporary little downfall for the space, but I think overall it's gonna help it be a lot stronger as we continue to build and see stuff being built. But yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of people that come and go throughout the space, and this has to happen to find out who's like legitimate about wanting to go with the extra mile and going all the way with building, and who is capable, and those that aren't capable will have to step away sooner or later. So it's better when it happens sooner than later.
Yeah, that is very true. We're still fairly new. I mean, to be honest, the Web3 gaming space, not just blockchain has been around for quite a bit. Probably, maybe not even that long, but like the gaming aspect of it has not been around that long. Most projects started like in 2020, which is not that long ago.
Yeah.
And very
that's
few,
about
very
barely
few made it
enough
through.
time.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's about barely enough time to build a AAA game to begin with. And almost none of these projects had a AAA budget to begin with, and that is why that's probably why we don't have a single complete AAA game, a AAA Web3 game.
Yeah, that's true. I don't mean, like, if you look at the traditional gaming space, there are so many games that fail. Like I was talking about this earlier too. Like, there's probably only maybe 10 games that people could list, like, and the majority are gonna be the same games that people list off. Like, there's not many games that break out in general. So
into the mainstream area, you mean for people that aren't like regular gamers?
Yeah.
If you meet someone on the street and ask them what games do you know, people are gonna list the same 10 games. Yeah, that is a pretty prominent theory.
So yeah, I don't mind, like, I don't like that, like, people are like, oh, 90% of the Web3 games are gonna fail. Like, yeah, but like that happens in the traditional space, and it's way more than the games that fail in Web3. There's so many like like you go to Steam, there's like thousands and thousands of games on there. So it's just how the space is, and right now Web3 is small, so it might seem like most of the projects, but it's still a very, very small amount of actual games. Yeah, it's cool to see the progress and to still see projects that were around back then to still be developing and pushing forward.
I mean, my main players are still there, and I'm happy about that. You know, like the ones I was kind of betting on since the start are still building. There were a lot of disappointments where people were projects that I didn't expect. You know, because I looked at the list, all right, and there was a tweet that a friend of mine, Valent, was putting in, and he put down a huge list of all the logos of all the games and all the projects that shut down. He was like, two of those were actually promising. And
Yeah.
he's right. I only saw like 3 or 4 names that were actually promising. And one of those names was actually not listening to feedback at all. And as soon as they started getting in the funding, they stopped progressing. They were like progressing so well. And then as soon as they got funded, the pace went way slower. Uh, but definitely hurt with Champions Ascension. I uh, I started kind of losing my hype towards it when I saw them give up on the open world concept.
Yeah.
I was sad to see Holdara leave the space. They can also secure a funding. There was another game that I am struggling to remember, Valarok. That game had a really cool looking IP and a cool looking concept, and their demo was interesting. It kind of it felt a little bit like Valheim,
Oh,
and it looked really cool.
yeah. I haven't heard of that one.
Bro, they sold the NFTs. They had a really good floor going for them on mainnet, and things were rolling. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Yo, we ran out of funding." See, yeah, they were like the first to shut down out of this whole hype.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's been a roller coaster this past month, man.
Yeah. I feel like once like a couple projects shut down, other projects were like, well, we're already there, might as well announce it. And it was just like a domino effect where all these like projects just shut down like day after day.
Shatterline, dude. Shatterline announced that they're completely shut. At first, they were like, "We're just gonna keep it single player," and
Yeah.
a couple of days ago, they announced that this will be the last week of Shatterline before the game goes completely offline.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I never got excited for Shatterline, like only because it
I mean,
failed so many times before it even came to Web3.
that's true. That's
Because
true.
it's like,
There were red flags.
so it's like, okay, like you're just trying to like, I guess it kind of felt like trying to extract money in a way from this space after it failed in the traditional space. And they're
Yeah,
also
to
just,
try and rebuild.
yeah,
And then they made the same mess up, man. Like the studio behind Shadowline, Frag Labs, kept doing the same mistakes. I was
yeah,
so close to their top community members, and they were never listening to the community. They were always like rollbacking at certain updates where the game becomes worse than it actually was before the update, and things were just not looking up for them for a
yeah.
while.
And you have to look at it like too. You have to compare. You do have to compare it to other games that in the genre that they're in. Like how was it gonna, like for me? I was like, this isn't gonna stand out if it reaches more players, like the masses. How is it gonna stand out from like your other shooters? Like why would someone who's playing a different game that's been around longer, that they're invested in already, why would they move to this one? Like you gotta have something that's like very unique, that's completely different in the genre that you're building in, so that like it could last a long time. And I kind of look at
That's true.
compete like that because it's in the battle royale genre, right? I know they're doing like other mini games, um, like the go kart.
Not many. They're saying it's a full fledged game. They say that the Ultimate Vision compete actually. When I last spoke to Jablo, he was saying the ultimate vision is to become more of a ecosystem of multiple games where they have a, just like they have the good battle royale shooter, they want the kart racing game to get bigger and become an actual like big scale racing game, and they're working on the basketball NBA style of game, kind of like kind of like NBA Jam style of game is what
Yeah,
they were supposedly working on last time I checked. I'm not sure where they're at with the progress in that. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like if that already exists, like okay, NBA Jam already exists. So if you're building this, how is this gonna stick out in that
yeah.
market?
And since they are going for that now, now they're competing against Fortnite because Fortnite already has that where
With a
they
K.
have multiple games in there. And but like mainly the BR, right? It's a BR. So you got to look at the BR space, the genre itself. It doesn't stand out compared to those other games. Like why is someone going to go from PUBG or from Fortnite and play compete, right? There's nothing special compared to those games that would say like for a player to be like, I want to play this instead. So like, yes, they are doing the Web3 aspect like awesome, right? Their skins, like it's very seamless. It's great. You can collect your skins, you can own them, but like it doesn't stand out in the genre that it's building in.
And that's not what most gamers care about mainly. Most gamers won't mind getting ripped off and not owning their stuff,
Yeah,
and just because they're by now they're hooked on this game. Okay, like the only reason they took the extra step of getting hooked on this game is because their friends told them they had so much fun with it. They're linked to that game, and that's it. You have to
yeah,
either give them something better, or they're not gonna just be sold on the idea like, yo, we're giving you the right to your assets. Not everybody understands. Actually, very few people actually understand that concept to
yeah,
begin with when you speak
yeah.
at the full scale. And people
So
are relying too much on the pitch of own your assets. I get it. I would fight for that pitch every single day, because I
yeah,
believe we should own we should own our assets. And I
yes,
believe that,
same.
like, I'm sure I've seen people that lost thousands of dollars in Counter-Strike skins just because they got banned, because they weren't using cheats, but somebody else was using cheats on the same computer in a net cafe, and the IP got banned. So he lost thousands of dollars for something he didn't do, because he didn't actually own his assets. Let alone the fact, let alone the fees that they were paying to begin with to find P2P markets to trade their skins, to actually get the money out, which was a complete hassle. Whereas when we actually owned our assets with crypto, all of that got so much more facilitated. And just
Yeah,
because I've seen the hassles there, I know what problem this solves. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna overlook the quality of the games at all.
yeah, yeah. That's true. I love the tech. I love what it does for games. Um, and I am a little bit more cautious now from being in the space. Like yeah, but it's got to stand out. Like it's hard to also get like like even your friends and family, if they're playing Fortnite, if they don't want to get on a game, like how are you gonna get other people on the game? So yeah, it has to stand out. Like they're like, you look at Splitgate 2, right? It's kind of like an arena shooter. Now it's in the BR space, but it has a unique gameplay mechanic that other games don't, right? Which is the portals. And then that's what makes it stand out. Even though it's in the genre of multiple games, it stands out because it
What is
has
it with you and portals,
I
bro?
love
Were you
portals.
tossed into a portal when you were young, bro? I don't get it. You're always chasing stuff that have
I
portals in
love
it.
Portal. Well, my favorite
Uh,
all-time game is Portal 2, um, which is where that came from. But yeah, but like I'm just using it as an example. It has a mechanic that stands
yeah.
out, right? Titanfall 2 or Titanfall and Titanfall 2, right? Those were shooters. There's other shooters, like Call of Duty, but that mechanic of having like your mech and players being able to pilot those, like that's a gameplay mechanic that stood out and that made it
Metal
good.
core shut down, bro.
What?
Metal core shut down. Metal
I
core.
never got hyped on that one either. See, that was
But it's
another
it's
one.
it's kind of like Titanfall though.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like they didn't know where to take the game. Like when I played, it felt like they were trying stuff and they didn't have a clear vision or goal for the gameplay.
Yeah, they were testing too many game loops. I agree on that. But it's just that they were speaking like they knew the vision. The whole MMO open world, go and farm these PvPvE in each server in each instance. I think they just, like, the game loop they had in their minds was way bigger, way more expensive to build, and
Yeah,
way more than they could even afford to go through, I guess. And
yeah,
that could be why they shut down. And man, that hurt for me, because I played that game ages ago, and I played it multiple times throughout the years, and it kept getting better. But as you said, they kept trying different game loops, and I just didn't know. They wanted to take it to VR, by the way. That was
Oh
their
my god.
initial plan, to make Metalcore a cross-play PC VR game. And
Yeah,
that would have been sick. That would have been sick. Not gonna lie.
that would have been really
Uh,
cool. That's a lot though. It's just bringing on
See
too
what I mean?
much.
They were like shooting from the for the stars without even having the money for it.
Yeah,
That's probably what messed them up. Not gonna lie.
yeah, it's
That
a lot.
probably is.
MMOs are huge. It's hard to get them right too, but
Very.
it's easier when it's not like AAA
That's what I
graphics.
mean, man. Yeah, but like, I, I don't know, man. Like, when that's the thing. Champions Ascension gave up as soon like their first red flag was when they gave up on the open world. So apparently they noticed how difficult it is to build an open world. So I
Yeah.
guess we can see from those experiences how difficult it is to actually build an MMO game.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if you were around. If you looked at Grand Saga, these guys had it, man. These guys had the open world built out. They had the dungeons very neatly made. They had everything so well polished. And then they just got discontinued because of like weird regulations in the country where the studio is from.
Oof. Oof. That
And
sucks.
that's just rumors though. I'm not sure of the actual story, but this is a rumor that I got from the somebody on the team that I obviously cannot say his name. I don't think he works there anymore anyways, but still.
Yeah.
Uh it was like I had a long conversation. I was like, no man, this game shouldn't die. This game's like the best game. They were like, no, I hope we can fix it, but lately there's been legal issues and stuff, and we were promised hoodies, right? Because we led the raids into that long dungeon and killed their boss and all that stuff. They shut down, discontinued, but in the announcement at the end they were like, but to honor our players and everybody that played the game and tested with us, we will still send everyone their hoodies. And they still sent everyone their hoodies despite having nothing
Nice.
to gain from it. They had nothing to gain from sending us those.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the amount of trouble they had to go through to ship something from South Korea to Lebanon where it barely enters. I can't imagine what they had to go through to actually get the hoodie. And when it arrived, it was so high quality, man. If I wanted to buy
Damn.
the same hoodie here, I would probably pay like $100 for this material.
Yeah.
It was insane.
That's fire. That's fire on
Mhm.
their part. They still
Yeah,
respect and value the community.
we need more projects like that, bro.
Yeah.
That was the best way they could have left the space. That
Yeah.
was the best closing I've ever witnessed for any project.
Yeah. I feel like that, like a shutdown like that is kind of more of an honest shutdown. Because I feel like a lot of the shutdowns that happened recently were just, dude, they just took the money. Like, you can tell from where the games were that like most of them just took the money and just left and shut down because it was so sudden too. A lot of these were sudden, like they didn't have signs, you know, they kept like promoting their NFTs and all their stuff and then they shut down. So it
And
felt
the way the way most of these games talk about themselves right before shutting down.
yeah.
One of the games that I previously mentioned, I'm not gonna say which one. Somebody from their team, I read the chat 1 or 2 days right before they shut down. It was like, yes, we're building the best game ever. Yes, we're da da da, and he was legitimately saying that there's no other game like the game we have.
Oof.
We have plenty of runway, and he was hyping up, and he was like high up on the like the team, you know, like he wasn't like some mod or something. No,
Yeah.
he was high up on the team, and he was talking like that. And then 2 days later, we read the announcement about them shutting down. So I'm like looking like that, and I was like, okay, so what was that one final squeeze out of your community? What the heck was that?
Yeah, that's crazy. We need more projects
Yeah,
like the one that you mentioned earlier though. Those
yeah,
are
I
good
agree.
teams. Those are people like you want to stay connected with because they still have the experience and they'll probably move on to another project in the space that they're in, right? So it's good to have, like, it's so cool to network with people because even if a game shuts down and the team is still honest and they're hardworking, you still have a connection to a developer, to a founder, right? Someone who is gonna find a new job, and you're still gonna have that connect and be like, oh, hey, look, I'm at this place now, you know?
Yeah,
So I think that's like another like really cool benefit from being in the Web3 space, is being able
yeah,
to network easily with these founders and these developers. Because you know, even if Web3 don't work out, you still have these connections. They're gonna move on to a traditional game, to another thing, and you're gonna have a connection there. Um, so
that's
that's
true.
really cool.
That's true.
Um,
I agree. I agree. That's pretty true. I mean, it's always the case with almost any work that you take on.
yeah.
It's always like I remember there was some guy that I used to meet on Spaces. He was like, "I'm Mr. Network to get work,"
Dude, I
and he
was
was
on
right,
the
man.
space. I mean, there. Yeah.
What was his name?
I think I'm still in their group chat.
Martin, Marvin. No, I forgot. Bro,
Yes.
I remember, and there we were playing I think he was talking about him playing VR1. He was like, "I'm gonna come for you, and I'm gonna beat you in VR1, blah blah." And I was like, "All right." And then the same second, I was like, "I wouldn't suggest it, buddy. Otherwise, Mr. Network to get work's gonna get murked." And then he was like, "Oh no." It was funny, like, because I came up with it on the spot, and then everybody in the space was like, "Oh." It was a cute roast.
Yeah, I know that guy. I was in their space. Great
Martek,
vibes. Great vibes.
he was great vibes. He was great vibes. I'm
I-
trying to see Martek. It is Martek. I was right. Yeah, Martek Networks. That was him.
I
Yeah,
wonder what he's up
that's
to.
cool. Haven't heard from him in a while. Yeah,
Well,
he's pump fun. What is he doing? What is that featured in the PC blockchain Guardians? Never heard
well,
of
at
these
least
guys.
he's still in the space.
Oh, he found it. Yeah, he's building, bro. I'm looking at it. He's building.
That's a W. A lot of people left the space.
He found it. Yeah, yeah, I know. But I think when the momentum clears down, people leave, and
Yeah.
then when it picks back up, everybody comes back, and even more people come on top of it.
Hey yo, pause.
I was about to say no pun intended, then I saw you like, all right, he's not saying anything. All right, we'll let it slide.
Pause, bro. Sus.
Pause. Sus.
All right. There are a few news and updates that stuck out to me for the last 2 weeks. Stuff that happened last week and this week because I skipped last week's episode. So there's stuff that happened within these past 2 weeks. But one of the bigger things that happened was that Stripe partnering or acquired Privy. So Privy is basically infrastructure platform that people could use for their blockchain apps or games that allow social login, and they give you a in-app wallet linked to your account, and you're able to link like other wallets and other accounts to your account. So a lot of projects use Privy. I'm pretty sure Pixels uses Privy or Third Web. Who else uses Privy? There's other projects.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Privy everywhere.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of projects. So this is crazy. I thought this was like super bullish, because like you're starting to see these companies like they can't ignore that people are using blockchain, right, for payments, for purchasing things. So it's really cool that you have Stripe coming in now to acquire Privy, because then that just opens it up to maybe we're going to be able to use crypto for everything that has Stripe involved in it. But I'm super excited. So this was crazy news that they had. So pretty excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, Privy's words on it was Privy will continue as an independent product, but now we'll move faster, ship more, and serve you even better so you can stay focused on your users.
Yeah.
So I guess they'll still act independently as a dev team, but they will have more resources in order to progress more, probably.
Yeah, that's my favorite type of acquisitions, honestly, because you still have like the talent and vision of the team. They're just backed and supported now, right? So that's
Stripe
really...
didn't strip them. Stripe didn't strip them.
Let's go.
That's the take.
Big dubs. So that's really awesome, dude. I'm really excited on that. So GG's to Privy. Super happy for them.
Forecaster built on Privy. Nice.
Yeah.
Hyper Liquid, Forecaster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of projects that use Privy. But yeah, so now more people are gonna just be exposed to blockchain, right? The benefits of using it. Now that Stripe acquired Privy. So hopefully we'll see more like traditional projects using Privy as just their login, you know? And they're able to have the option to be like, oh, we can give people, crypto wallets in the background.
Yeah.
So that's pretty hype. What else happened? Oh, another kind of not shutdown, but Soul Sniper, which I guess was a pretty popular marketplace.
heard that name in a while, bro. But yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it.
So they're shutting down their NFT marketplace and launchpad. They're still gonna do other stuff, but I thought that was a pretty big like
I
hit.
thought, yeah. Well, I thought that they were more following the meta, if I'm not mistaken, where they went from NFT marketplace to Telegram AI coin trading bot, because that was all the Solana trenches was about, right? AI
Yeah.
16Z and all the stuff that was going on with the AI coins. Where you had like large language model, singing music, magic model. There was a lot of language models that were being released as memes,
Yeah.
and then they would actually plug in a language model, and then the coin pumps. And
Yeah.
that rarely happened. But I think they wanted to follow that meta, which, in my opinion, is not as sustainable because people will still need the NFTs. In my opinion, when utility is properly packed to them.
Yeah. So
But I
it's
personally can't see the point
yeah.
behind
I don't know what they're gonna be
the
focusing on now. They're obviously still building other stuff, but I feel like that's a huge product to like shut down and let go. But it makes sense. I mean, the NFTs aren't moving right now as heavily as they were. Plus, there's other marketplaces, Magic Eden, Tensor, OpenSea, right, that have a lot more visibility in the space. So I guess it's smart on their end. Like, if they're not getting a lot of people to use their marketplace or launchpad, but we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
else they do.
I think they're aiming towards user acquisition. Like sometimes you gotta fight with the current meta in order to acquire enough users to acquire enough money to build what you actually want to build. And a lot of projects do that. A lot of projects started building Telegram bots, not because they've always wanted to build Telegram bots, but because everybody was doing it, and that's where all the VC money was looking at.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
the Telegram
I think that happened. Oversaturated at one point. We had all those tap games coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
The other thing,
that was.
Poggers. I don't know when they launched their token, but I don't know if it's new or not. But they've been announcing it recently. So Poggers is like an energy drink company, and they've been around for a long time. They had reached out to me like over a year ago, and I honestly just forgot to reply back. uh, but yeah, they released a token recently, and like right away, like this is what projects should be doing. But right away, they have like the best utility for their token, which is to buy any of their products from their website using their token.
Like on a discounted price than buying it with actual cash?
They
Or you
also
can
have
only buy
that.
with
So
the
depending on what you hold, you get a discount depending on how much token you hold,
Oh,
which is another awesome utility that I don't know why other projects don't do that. So like they're also incentivizing, but they're also going to have a burn rate. So when you use token to buy their product, they're going to burn a percentage of that token. So each time people buy stuff with their token, it's like it's automatically burning this. It's a very cool system that they have. They explain it all in this post here, but like GG's to them, like really awesome utilities and the system that they have. They're making a great ecosystem for their token with their product. Um, so that's pretty exciting, honestly, to see a project like this do that. Um, which is why like I picked up my convo with them, so like I have a discount code for my username so people could get like a percentage off as well with that. But yeah, pretty excited to see where they head. So I'll share this link in the chat for everybody. But yeah, I thought that was really
you know
cool.
that I have you know that I have a coffee shop next to my house that has the exact same utility. It at first. So hear me out. So this guy, okay, it was the start of it was actually it was a while ago. It was like 2016, 17. And the guy's goal was to build a Lebanese version of Starbucks. That was his goal at first. So he built a pretty neat cafe with high quality and high standards in terms of like the coffee, the drinks, the snacks, the
Yeah,
sandwiches, all that stuff. He did a great job. He builds it out, right? And then he moves to a bigger place, and he's actually now competing with the Starbucks in his area because he built on the same street as Starbucks, and he's actually being more busy than Starbucks.
Hey,
And then
let's
one day,
go.
and both of them are next to a really huge, two of the biggest the two biggest universities in the country, and two of the biggest universities in the Middle East. He's like in between, so he has these like students who are hardworking and stuff, and Web3 was a big hype
Yeah.
around 2020, 2021, and the students were all over it. So they start by building their own sandbox NFTs in their own sandbox world for the cafe itself. And he hired the
What?
students that
Sick.
were coming to his cafe to build his sandbox and build his cafe in the sandbox. And then he released his own token for the shop and his own NFTs that act in the sandbox. And if you have those, if I buy his tokens, I can go there and get a discount because I hold the tokens and pay in crypto.
Dude, that's
So I'm like,
sick.
okay. Yeah, I mean, if more shops did this, bro, the world would be so much like, at least in my country, it would be so much easier. But thing is, most people in most countries won't do that.
Yeah.
Most people in most countries will be like, it's unstable, it's too volatile, what if. But in my country, he did it because, like, what's more unstable than our fiat money going 100x down, right? They don't care anymore. It's like anything's unstable. If my money was gone in a bank and it poofed, I got rugged by like my own bank, then who's not gonna rug me? It doesn't matter. I might as well do what I want to do. Might as well do what's best for me and what's best for all of us. So
Yeah.
that's why he went heads down and started building where it matters. And it was pretty good. I think the result is pretty
Dude,
astounding.
that's awesome. That is so
Yeah,
cool. That's real world utility that I want to see
yeah.
more for tokens. Cause like I feel like people forgot the whole point of cryptocurrency, right? Is to have an alternative payment system for what we have already, right? Peer-to-peer transactions, using it to buy stuff that we could use in real life, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of projects like forgot that. A lot of people forgot that. So it's really cool to hear that and to like see projects like Poggers like being able to sell like IRL products, stuff that you could consume to with their token. Really awesome stuff. It's exciting.
Yep.
So glad to see that's happening in this space. What else happened recently? The abstract account got hacked, dude.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
Oh my god.
Bro, Ramen hits me up today and he's like, "Yo, did Abstract just rug people? Why is everybody mad at Abstract on the timeline?" I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "I'm watching their coin that they released right now, and it's down. It's down bad." And I'm like, "Bro, don't buy that, please." Then I had to explain to them and show them that the account got hacked. Yes, the account got hacked. They shared a contract address for a certain coin. I did not get much more clarity on what happened to people that bought the coin. Maybe it was a pump and dump. Maybe there was some draining to be done. I am unsure of what actually happened, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
that's crazy. Uh, I don't know, bro. Like that's weird. Like a lot of it a lot of people were like, "Oh, is it because of that big old password leak or whatever?" Right? It's like 16 billion passwords were leaked, but those were like passwords that were already leaked out there. I guess it was just like a really big funneling to get all those. I don't think it was like new passwords or people's accounts were like exposed if they weren't before. So I don't think it was that. Plus, if it was, I don't think they would have right away made a token, right? So this felt more targeted. If it was an actual hack, it was very targeted, right? Because they had the token ready to go, right? All these posts ready. So it was very targeted, or, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, if you're at that scale, I think that you'd have to go above and beyond with the security measures when it comes to your socials.
Yeah.
Definitely getting a bunch of audits.
Especially in crypto, dude. Especially in crypto, where it's so
Exactly,
easy to
exactly.
get people's money, like being that big of an account, too. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. like how that could have
The way they
happened.
did it wasn't dumb, you know, like you can tell that they're smart. You can tell that it wasn't hacked easily because of the way it was orchestrated on the post. And it was like, yo, we're memeing about abstract on Solana ABS, you know. I was like, huh? Like for a second when I first saw the thing, I was like, for a second I was like, huh, that's weird for abstract to meme on.
Yeah.
But okay, it's Web3, you know, memes happen, I guess. But why would abstract be on Solana? Maybe I should buy. No, wait. Could they be hacked? And then that's how I realized. You know, I was falling for it one time after another. If I had a lot of greed in me at that moment, I might have fallen for it. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people did.
I'm pretty sure a lot
So
of people like lost money there. It
yeah,
sucks. It's oh man, how like I just want to know how could your account get like compromised like that? Like someone who had access on their team got compromised. But like
yeah.
at that scale, you got to be super careful. Like you shouldn't have that access on a
If you're at that scale, whatever is work related in all those channels should be alone on their own device. You
yeah.
shouldn't mix them with your everyday device.
Yeah, exactly. You should have one
That's like
device that has access to this account that you don't do
exactly,
nothing else on, right? When you're at that
exactly.
scale. Like,
When you're at that scale, you're carrying the whole freaking abstract account.
yeah.
That's supposed to have its own device.
Yeah. Yeah, at a certain scale, you got to have a separate device for just the account and have it nowhere else cuz of security risks like that. Cuz holy, that's crazy. They have a big account too. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
do.
that's kind of rough. I don't know how. I hope they explain how, you know? Not I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they should explain what happened?
I don't know. I think they will have a hard time fighting the FUD, and fighting the people that will be like, "Oh, I lost money, pay me back," even if they lost or didn't. Uh, I'm not sure how they should react to this. I think they owe everybody a transparent explanation, and whoever did it has to face either like repercussions in a way where he is either like if he's made other mistakes, demoted or fired. If this was his
Yeah.
only mistake and he was an actually hardworking person and it's actually a good person, then no, yeah, I would probably recommend properly teach. First of all, you get him his own device for this stuff,
Yeah.
and then you teach him how to keep these things on their own device. And I think that they should announce that, and that we're not gonna be like hacked again or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. A little crazy that that happened.
Yo, I'm reading an announcement right now. Little side note, but our open edition is live on OpenSea. Go mint that. Bloodloop is minting
Did their
a
account get hacked?
free. No, because that's Paco's account, and that I know that that's a Paco announcement from the way it's written. And it's not even the Bloodloop's. It's not just the Bloodloop Discord. It's the Bloodloop Discord and the X account. They're celebrating the official launch with an exclusive AVAX and OpenSea collectible. Claim the artist print now. Yeah, people are minting. I think they're having a free mint on AVAX. Oh, can you mint more than one? Oh no, limit one per wallet.
What wallets have AVAX by the way? What wallet do you use for AVAX?
EVM wallets. AVAX is on EVM.
Oh,
So MetaMask, Rabby. I like Rabby personally. I've always loved Rabby. Even though like MetaMask fixed the issue that made me go to Rabby in the first place. The issue with MetaMask that made me go to Rabby was because MetaMask you would have to click it and switch the network manually every time you work on a new site, whereas Rabby it automatically switches the network as soon as you click any transaction. It automatically pops up in the right network. MetaMask didn't used to have that.
yeah, I never liked
And
MetaMask. I just used like OpenSea or not OpenSea, stupid Coinbase.
I never used Coinbase because the Coinbase website is banned in my region. So
Oof.
why would I use their wallet? Yeah.
My favorite wallet has been Phantom. I love Phantom Wallet. For me, it's
I like Phantom
super
as well,
easy.
but my favorite, I think by now, is Rabby, because I've used Rabby for the longest time, and it is as easy as Phantom in my opinion, and the layout feels even like cleaner than any other layout that I've seen.
I gotta
But
try it.
Phantom is clean. But for EVM, I think Rabby's really close to Phantom.
Yeah, the like the only thing with Phantom is obviously it doesn't have like all the chains, right? They are getting more and more. Like you got Ethereum base. They did Sui.
Yeah.
So it is opening
Yeah.
up a little bit more, but they don't have everything like in a lot of the L2s that people use. So kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
All right. I minted and I don't think I got drained, so I'll send you the link.
Let's go. Free is free.
Exactly, man. Free is free.
Yeah,
Big dubs,
I don't
big
think
dubs.
I've played Blood Loop before. I've been hearing about it a lot.
Oh boy, you don't. That's a cute sound. All right, I sent you the mint link.
Let's go.
Free is free. So, the thing is, Bloodloop hosted a Creator Clash tournament. I don't know if they told you. They are still hosting it because it's not done yet. So they kind of rushed into that tournament without being ready enough for it, in my opinion. Pasquale is an amazing guy. Paco's hardworking. They're trying really hard with the team, with the game, and they progressed. I had fun in the last playtest, but the way they made us wait so long in that tournament was annoying, bro. Because people kept messing with them, like people kept queuing when they're not supposed to because there were no private
That's
lobbies,
annoying.
and yeah, things didn't go as planned. If I were to quote them, they said everything that wasn't supposed to happen happened. During that time.
Damn. That sucks. Yeah, I'll try it out. What are they on? Are they on Epic or Steam?
Right, they will open up to the public in 3 days on the 23rd. That's their launch date.
Oh, that's okay. Where are they gonna be?
They've been silent for
Epic.
like a year.
Okay.
Epic, yeah. They're gonna be on Epic.
I'm so glad these projects are moving to launching on Epic Launcher. Because dude, downloading a game, I don't do that. Like,
Not yeah, of course, man. Like yeah, I remember before Epic Games was so crypto friendly, we had Google Drives.
Google Drive.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Nah, I think in all honesty, I think at this point Epic Games is probably the best choice for any Web3 game.
Yeah.
But I feel like people make it personal about launching on Steam. I feel like it's more of a reputation thing where they're like, we're not so Web3 like the other ones. That's why we can launch on Steam.
Yeah,
Like they're see what I mean?
They do it too, cause like I get there's more players on Steam, but like no project is ready to go on Steam. Steam players are very quick to judge when they're rating games. Like even good games have like a lot of mixed reviews, but the people there are very like I don't know. It's a different mindset that people that solely game on Steam.
The people there are like, if I were to tell you, they're people who are very dedicated gamers, let's say. And they're people that have strong opinions most of the time, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call anybody lifeless or toxic. I'm just gonna say that there are people that will go the extra mile to voice out their opinion about games just because they don't know how to give constructive criticism and feedback.
Yeah, that's very true. Well said. And yeah, projects that go on Steam, I feel like they're just chasing numbers, right? Just to be like, oh look, we're on Steam, these are the numbers or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like at that point you're spreading yourself very thin because you're having to focus on not just Steam, but also trying to keep the blockchain aspect out of it on Steam, and you're separating the community. Because then you have stuff that works, on your account, or let's say it works on Epic, but it doesn't have that functionality on Steam. So like you're literally splitting the community in two right there.
I agree, but the way they do it is different. Like when it comes to a Steam launch, when people are readying up for a Steam launch, they tend to put the Web3 aspects of it on browser.
Yeah.
So in both cases, if you want to deal with the Web3 aspect, you go out to a browser. However,
I've only seen one game do that so far. All the other most of the games have like completely removed it on Steam, or they don't have it yet, and they're working on it, or they're planning something.
you know why? Because as soon as they do, they're forced to put the NFT tag on their Steam. And
Yeah.
any game with the NFT tag on Steam is immediately like frowned upon and considered a scam, because I can't blame them, man. Like the amount of scam games we have gotten up until this point, and when this space first came out, nobody had time to make good games, let alone an honest, sustainable game. Nobody even had time to make good games in the first while.
Yeah.
So who was gonna be releasing in the first couple of months of blockchain? Any scammer that just wants to build anything to like drain his community the quickest. And then it kept happening for a while before we started kind of seeing the silver lining of better games that are coming out. And like till now, I still see some hidden gems here and there that could very well be something big. But then I look at them and I'm like, when?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think soon we'll have some good projects.
Soon, TM.
I'm excited for Ronan's MMO, Axie MMO. That one looks really fun, honestly. The art style is nice.
I haven't played it, and I learned about Web3 shortly after the Axie days, but I heard a lot. And actually, when I was reading about Web3 gaming, it was during the Axie days, the first time I ever read about it, and I was watching videos, and most of the videos were titled about how people were using and abusing other people in exchange for scholarships, and how NFT gaming was what they were calling it, a very toxic, extractive environment, which I'm pretty sure it was, and I'm pretty sure it still is in certain areas, because I've experienced it firsthand. I got ears to the ground every single day. I'm always in the trenches when it comes to Web3 gaming, and I see a lot. You see a lot. Yeah. But at the same time, there's always whenever there's like this much darkness, there's also light that created the shadow to begin with. So you gotta kind of dig deep and try to find, where do you find your place? Who do you get along with? What games do you like? What projects do you actually like? Then you find your way more and more around the space, and you just end up where you end up. And
I never got into Axie. Even when I heard about it, it just wasn't my style. Or
I saw it. Okay, in all honesty, I saw it, and I saw the numbers, I saw the gameplay, I saw the NFT, and if I showed up to Web3 gaming back then, I would have been disgusted, honestly. Because, okay, let me tell you something. Some people say Axie is the best thing that happened to Web3 gaming because of the numbers it brought. Okay. I say it could be the best and worst thing to ever happen to Web3 gaming, because it was the best thing on short term. In terms of short term, it brought a lot of eyes and attention, and probably a lot of money into the space.
Yeah.
But on the long term, Axie set a standard where in my opinion, people were multi-accounting the hell out of that game.
Oh, and 100%.
And of course, I was reading documentaries about Filipinos making this game their full-time job. I'm pretty sure his full-time job wasn't on just one account. And I've seen videos of people where like they had a full room of freaking a bazillion phones.
Dude, I get so scared of that.
You see these things?
Yeah, dude, I've seen so many clips, and it scares the crap out of me, because it's like, how could you like? There's no way. There's almost virtually no way to prevent that. Like, you're gonna have that at some point, right? People are gonna find a way to farm, but it is scary. And yeah, it did invite like whole operations to be built for that. Like, it's gonna be here. So
I think if the game wasn't built in this specific way, and like the money to be extracted out of it wasn't just farmable, it was actually earnable, which is what they were saying: play to earn, and not play to win, or play to Like you're not, I don't know, like logically, if you're putting in the hours, you're putting in the clicks, you earn them, sure. But in my opinion, in order for me to earn something, I have to be at a certain skill level or have a certain skill set that I showcased in order to get it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's to me, it's not just about putting in the hours in the farming. Sure, a lot of play to earn games have that, but to me, it's also about, I think games should kind of prioritize rewarding the people that have the skill in their game and the knowledge required to achieve those higher levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, that can nurture a very toxic environment at the same time. So it's a double-edged sword. No one really knows what's sustainable or what system actually should go down. But I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, I never got into that. Like, I'm seeing a lot of more like Ponzi games, especially on Ronin's side, which is somewhat disappointing to me because dude, I hate the idea of idle games. Like, that's what was mostly on Abstract too. Or when Abstract I don't know what's on Abstract now. I'm sure there's a lot more, but
Don't
like,
ask me to idle. Don't ask me to click.
I hate
Don't
that.
ask me to battle Pokemons and then put
Yeah, dude, I hate
freaking
that. It's so
one ability.
annoying. And
If
people are
your
hyping
game,
it. And people are hyping it a lot. I'm like, dude, why? Like, we
if
don't
your
need more
game,
of this. It's not long term at
exactly,
all. Like, everyone's doing
exactly.
it because they're making money, but it's so short term. Like, in the long run, it's gonna damage the space. But people are doing it because they're
Pretty,
getting money. I mean, yeah, like we should all have some good dubs, but like, dude, when you promote it and hype it up, like it's so annoying because it's so clearly not gonna last long term. Okay, like okay,
the first
I
game that hooked me on the space
what?
was Eve.io. It was rewarding us with points based on how many kills we get. So the only reason I was ever hooked on the space is because I believe that there is still some spot in this
Yeah,
place that would reward me for my skill.
let's see.
Because I knew I can't stand out when it comes to multi-accounting.
I got hooked in my first Web3 game was Blankos, right? Now this was based on you have these cool characters, they're NFTs, you own them, and they had a lot of fun mini games, right? And I was like, oh, this is blockchain gaming. Like it's a fun game. You can own the characters and you could also like level them up, right? And combine them to create a new NFT. It was awesome. Like that was a great, intro. Like clearly they failed. They suck. The team did terrible. Did not listen to the community at all. They could have
As is the case
they could have,
with
dude. They
most.
could have been like the top right now if they kept building and listened to the community. They literally could have been the top Web3 game, in my opinion,
Yeah,
had the team actually developed further. Um, but yeah, see that was cool, and yeah, Eve.io did a really good job at that too. So
yeah, that they sucked at preventing cheaters from cheating on their game.
yeah, and I don't. Did they shut down? Are they still around?
They're still around. Quiet, but still around. Very quiet though.
Interesting.
Very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
They
like.
are I don't think yeah. I don't think they're like same as old times when you used to farm the points and trade them for crypto tokens. Now they're more focused on winning points and exchanging them for NFTs
Yeah.
from the game.
Yeah, that like, dude, I hate the Ponzi games. Like, I know there's this very popular game called Fishing Frenzy, right, on Ronin, and Ronin's pushing it. A bunch of creators are pushing it, but it's like, dude, this is not gonna last long term.
I still have the chats with them. I've spoken with Fishing Frenzy a bunch of times. I
It's
played
just,
the game.
I
Okay, let me tell you something.
don't see it, dude. Like,
I
I tried it, I just don't see it.
I tried it too. Okay, I see myself. I can see myself like playing this in the background while I'm just chilling with my friend if we're both playing it. I don't mind. But it's not a game I'm gonna pick up and get hooked on for a long time because that's not really the genre I would go for.
Yeah,
It's just not something I would pick up and stick to at all.
I just, and I
Uh,
don't see like the longevity of it, and like this isn't gonna be something that lasts a long time, more than a year. I doubt this is gonna last longer than a year, and people are still gonna be interested, right, in this little loop. Um, and I don't know, it's just not long term. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like
I don't get it either, bro.
there's so much hype around projects that are not clearly not long term. Like nobody looking at the long term side of it. Um, and even in the traditional space, there's mobile games and they're fun for a moment. They get hype, but long term, nobody stays on it. So like, how could you create an ecosystem of NFTs and token around a game that's clearly not gonna last a long time, right? It's gonna die at some point. People are gonna waste money. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I prefer not to play or get
Yeah, I see.
involved in those idle games like that.
I agree, but I personally think that like eventually the good games will succeed.
Yeah,
And that will bring even more bad games. Because when the good games succeed, there's gonna be a lot of hype again. There's gonna be a lot of
yeah,
mainstream again. And then there's gonna be a lot of games looking to farm out some of that money that's coming in again.
yeah,
And we're gonna see that cycle all over again. But if a good game got successful enough to bring back that level of hype, I think that that game would dominate in a way where the hype will go up and down, but will never go back down to the level we're in now because
yeah,
there's always this game to come back to. Because this game will keep going the way it's going because it's actually that good of a game that managed to retain its players.
yeah. Retention, game loops. We need solid game loops. A lot of developers
Yeah.
forget or founders forget about like a game loop as well. Like it could be fun, but you have a game loop that people can keep coming back to. That's super
Yeah.
important.
It's also very tricky.
Yeah,
Very, very tricky.
yeah,
Because refining a game loop, there's so many details that come into play. There's so many things that could either make or break a whole game loop during the process of playing the actual game.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that could go wrong, and
yeah. Yeah. I'm excited though. I'm excited to keep building too. Also, I don't know if you saw the Telegram chat for Moondao, but I am almost done to getting the new Moondance website up with user accounts. Very close.
nice.
I just gotta do a few more things with it. But the accounts work. You get the in-app wallet. You can link your wallet. It reads the balance from your wallet. So that main foundation works, dude. I'm super excited.
You've been working hard, then.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
it's
That's good.
awesome. It's hype. I'm super hyped about it. So that's the first step, just getting the website with user accounts up. And then I'm gonna add like the TCG there and the merch so people could buy that using tokens. But super exciting things. I gotta ship out the first batch of orders for the TCG. I'm excited to get people's reviews on it. And Maddox review because he plays card games, so
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah. We've been playing a lot of Dark Table. We were chilling with the founder of Dark Table just literally right before I hopped on. I left that call to come here because he comes and chills in DTL often.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, no,
so
he
we were
sounded like
chilling with
on
him.
the space. He sounded really, really good.
He's a really amazing guy, bro. He's a solid G, one of the
Yeah,
homies. Yeah, you'd love him if you met him someday.
yeah, and
You'd love him
I like the
when you
fact.
meet him. I know you're right with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta chat. We gotta have him on the podcast.
true.
But yeah, I loved
Totally
the
make that.
space that we had with TCGs talking about all of that. It was great to get everyone's opinion
Have a
on
great
it.
space, yeah.
It was awesome. So hopefully we can do more like that. But in the meantime, we'll keep
Wasn't
doing.
that the space where somebody hopped up on the space and was like, guys, I need somebody to link me with Elon Musk. Wasn't it that space?
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get to Elon Musk, so can everyone follow me? And then that was it.
The Maddox is like, okay, awesome, good luck on your endeavor. And then after the space, I was like, Maddox, like, don't you regret? And they was like, no, that was the highlight of the show. What do you mean?
That was hilarious, dude. He came up and just shielded himself like it wasn't even like I thought it was gonna go somewhere, and then he just
Me
stopped
too.
after like, yeah, can everyone follow me? That's
Uh,
hilarious. Like that's probably what he just goes around join spaces and to ask people to follow him. That was funny. That was hilarious.
yeah,
Um,
I was.
Maddox is a great host.
He is.
I'm glad
He
Grid
sure is.
Network got him to do the hosting for that.
Yeah, man.
That's great. But yeah, lots of stuff to come. I'm excited on a lot of things. What else? I had something else. I think that was all that I had. Like there's something that I swear I had. I forgot. I'm dumb. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Nopera is our new another new co-host. Big
Hmm.
dubs. Love Nopera.
Yes.
Love the
Love you
chats.
too,
We
bro.
always chat in VC too, like off
Yeah.
stream.
This doesn't feel that different. It's
Yeah,
just pretty much us chilling, but except the fact that you guys get to watch us chill as well. So the thing
exactly.
is, I'm just trying to find what uh what news there is.
Doo-doo.
Uh,
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, that was. I think that was. We covered a lot.
did you hop in on the arena hype and all that stuff? That's
What's that? What is it? They're
the
called.
arena,
What are they? The arena?
the AVAX platform that everybody's streaming on.
Oh, you showed me. You were the one telling me about it.
Okay.
I have not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's everybody's like trading meme coins on the arena now.
It's so hard to like see. God. Okay. There's been quite a few Web3 streaming platforms, and I do want one of them to win, but like
Honestly,
I
honestly speaking.
yeah I will say go ahead.
Okay, you're grouping them all in the same category, which I don't blame. I did the same thing. But there's one thing. What makes Arena? There's two types of streaming platforms. Actually, kind of Abstract has its own thing a little bit, but no, I would say Abstract is a bit more like Arena. There's platforms like Arena. There's platforms like Xenon. Arena mainly the gated chat that people have access to if they buy your ticket. Okay, that's where you can drop alpha. The tipping mechanism where you tip all your viewers or you tip all your ticket holders or you airdrop to all your ticket holders and all that stuff. The buying and trading meme coins on the platform itself that everybody's hooked on right now. You hear about these features and it kind of makes you feel like this platform is catered more towards degens, right? Logically. And then you have Xenon. Xenon is more like, okay, we want to be a streaming platform initially, and we developed our multi-streaming service in order to have a better hook. And our pitch is more that, okay, there is an airdrop, but you only can get points out of airdrops if you have more people sub to you, more followers, more watch time, and the watch time can't be botted because they actually monitor the multi accounts and reduce your points after they discover that somebody multi accounted your stream, so there's no multi accounting there, whereas it's the opposite in other platforms. And they're trying their best to kind of be more of a, let's say, I feel like they're targeting streamers who stream and build a community and creators that create, not to go around, like, not necessarily those that purely wanna make money and purely wanna see what the alpha is and live in the trenches and degen every day. No, it feels like they're more targeting creators who want to create and give them a better alternative than Twitch, because Twitch takes like a bigger percentage and they want to be like, we give you 95% and take 5% of the subs that you get. I feel like that's a different concept than this. And I feel like one of each will win in each Web3 streaming platform category.
Interesting. I did not think about it like that.
I feel like they're two different concepts. You know, I know
Yeah.
they're both streaming platforms, but they just feel so different, bro. I just feel like one of these will win because all the creators will like it and all their communities will be there for them. And one of these will win because all the degens will make sure that that's where most of the money's at.
Yeah.
That's why you'll have these two.
I don't know. For me, it's just hard to like dedicate because like you obviously want to recommend people to go where you're streaming and where you want to grow. Um,
Yeah.
so for me, it's like I have been doing that a lot, like trying out these new platforms, and I kind of like don't
Okay.
want to do that anymore. But I
Okay.
am tired of Twitch with their stupid ads, right? The terrible
I
like
have them off, bro. I have them off. I
I
don't I
have
don't
them.
care about the
No,
ad money.
I have them off too,
Because
but Twitch runs ads regardless, even if you have them off.
okay,
So
okay.
I schedule them. So I'm like, if I'm gonna have them, they're gonna be scheduled, and I can see when it's happening, so I don't let people miss things. Because even if
Well,
you have them off, they run them and it's random, and people get them. If you want
mhm,
completely ads turned off on as a viewer,
they have to
you
sub to you.
either or do the turbo, which is like $4 a month, and you get no ads on every
Okay.
streamer. Uh, which is also
So
stupid that they integrate because then now people sub less because they can get that for cheaper.
also, so here's the thing. I think the way I approach this is that I don't want to force growth anywhere. I'm just gonna multi-stream wherever I believe I want to grow, and I'll just wherever it grows. If that person likes to watch me on Arena, fine by me. You watch me on Arena. I got this monitor on the side, and when I'm streaming, I have 4 different chats aligned, and I'm integrating them into one chat. We're studying a tool today where I'll integrate all my chats into one chat,
That's
no matter
awesome.
the platform,
Yeah.
and I'll make all the chats into one chat on my screen, even that appears in my stream, and it will show where every person is chatting from. And I'm working on a big multi-streaming setup that I want to get set up for myself. And if that person feels comfortable watching me on Xenon, or feels comfortable watching me on Arena, or Twitch, or YouTube, or X, or whatever they feel comfortable watching me at, sure, by all means, go ahead. However, I'm not disclosing that I will multi-stream to Twitch, maybe because I don't think that's even allowed to multi-stream from Twitch. But
You can do it. There's just some
there's
parameters you gotta go. I never like
I never
fully.
looked deeper into it.
Yeah.
I knew that there was no multi-streaming allowed from Twitch. That's what I know.
Oh, it is. It is. You can now. You just can't have other streams chat in your Twitch chat, which I still did anyways, and I've been fine. And you
You don't even
also,
need it, bro.
I like it. That way, people.
Uh,
So when I do multi-stream, I like that people could see what other people are chatting on other platforms because it feels more inclusive. Like they're not like left out.
yes. Do you know what feels even more inclusive? Having them appear on your screen in fade, and they can see everybody.
Yeah, but what has? I guess we need a
Like a
tool for
fade
that.
on the side of your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
that's what we're working on right now.
let's go.
That's
No para building tools.
no. I'm not building. That's what me and Maddox are working on setting up from an already existing tool.
Ah,
That's what.
okay. All right. No
Yes.
paradigmatics
Okay.
building. Let's
Yes, we're
go.
building the proper stream setup,
That's awesome.
and I sent you that tool.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I just
That's
like the only reason I say like wanting people to go to the platform because like obviously when I post about it, when I have announcements about something, when I'm doing an event, you gotta send people somewhere. So when you
yeah.
multi-stream, it's like which one do I choose? I'd rather have one place to stream. Like unless you have 4,000 viewers here, 1,000 viewers there, 500 there. Unless you have like a lot of people on each of these platforms that like, okay, I have an audience on all these platforms. It makes sense to
Who
multi-stream.
are you sending initially?
What do you
Who are
mean?
you sending?
Who?
Like like when you yeah, like when you go, you saying that you want to send your viewers,
You send
but
people
like
to one place, right? You can't send them to be
where are
like.
you sending those people from?
So for the
That's what I mean.
podcast, like for this Mooncast, I send them to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I make a post. I say, okay, go here. You could set the reminder, go to this place, right? Because you're gonna have to post your link if you want people to come to your stream, right? If you're announcing it in different
Yeah.
places. Um, but when you have that
Yeah.
option where you're just like, oh, come watch me on any of these platforms, it's kind of like, uh, it's kind of like a friction point for people to have to decide.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, and it's a friction point, honestly, for people to have to decide another thing in their life. Where like, okay, where do I want to watch them? I go here, 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 and it's kind of like a turn off. Like, oh, I'll just keep
Okay,
scrolling.
so I think that the solution would be that where first of all, there's two factors. Where is it profitable for you as a streamer the most, and where is it the most mainstream platform that you think everybody's already aware of? And you have these two, and it depends on the person. But if you're making a post, a general announcement of it, you'd have to be like, if you guys want to support me the most, sign up here, and I'll be live on there. Also, we will be live on YouTube here. For example, if YouTube is the most live stream or
Yeah,
mainstream, or Twitch or whatever, the second link basically is something that's mainstream. And like for me at this point, it used to be Abstract, used to be Arena. Right now, I'm feeling like it's gonna be Xenon, where it is most profitable for me to have viewership, or where I would want them. So now what I
yeah.
would do is, I'd be like, this is where I'll be live, and I would post the Xenon link, and then under it, I'm also live on YouTube, for example. Even though I haven't fixed up my YouTube for that yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, yeah. I really like Xenon first of all because they also the platform feels very matured compared to the other Web3 platforms. Only because they've done it before. They launched their
Yeah,
platform before.
it
They
disappeared for like a year
Yeah,
or
they got
2 years now.
feedback. I'm really glad that they're still wanting to build it out, right? That shows a lot of passion and dedication to what they're building. But yes, it does feel the most matured and like um they obviously have more knowledge than I think Abstract and streaming. Um for me it feels better than Arena when I spent time on there, especially on the mobile version. Um and then from Soulbound too, which is a little bit newer. So they obviously have the most experience in the space of Web3 streaming platform, right? You could already have, like, they already have your chat available to pull the browser source so you can put it up in your stream, right? Like, Abstract doesn't have that. Um, Soulbound doesn't have that. I don't know if Arena has that yet, but it's a small functionality, but a very important one that they already have. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I feel like yeah,
I was talking to him about it today. I was like, "That's the best hook you could have, bro." And he was like, "I know, but I also have to get the tokenomics done right because, like, that's what matters the most at the moment. And I do want to build out all these amazing features and polish multi-streaming properly. But right now, I really have to focus hard on making the right tokenomics because they're not gonna make us wait that long. They
yeah,
have a huge update on the first, uh, and they're gonna announce a lot of stuff really fast. Not sure how long it'll take them, but I know that they're working really hard, really fast. Like there's a lot of features coming up on the first, from chat moderation. I like bro. Yesterday, I gave him feedback. I was like, bro, I need the ability to see who's watching my stream, whether it's a wallet address or that person already has a profile.
yeah.
I just want to see who's my
Because
viewers
you could do that on Twitch too.
and who's viewing me. Yeah, and you could do that even on Arena, and in Arena you can even remove them. So I was like, and yeah, and if I can like maybe remove somebody from my stream if I chose to, like some spammer is promoting something and you just press remove and they're out of your stream, something like that. It was like that's actually a good idea. And then this morning he sends me this picture where it's like he says, where is it? Where is it? He said this one is for you and tagged me, and it's statistics, current viewers, and past viewers.
That's awesome.
And he just
Damn.
built it overnight. Look at it. I just sent it to you. He's like, Nopera, this one's for you. And he stayed up all night to finish this.
That is awesome. That's crazy. It looks clean.
Yeah.
It looks very clean. That is cool.
Yeah.
See this is another feature where I think okay, so like okay, let me go back a little. Let me go on a little thingy. So like when you're
Yeah.
like and this goes for games too, but like for a streaming platform, when you're making a web3 streaming platform, you have to make sure it's the very basics, it's as seamless as streaming, viewing, setting up an account as Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, right? You have to match that quality across the board if you want to compete in the streaming platform. But then if you want to stand out
Yeah.
and do better, you have to add features that these other platforms are lacking in, right? That that streamers are complaining about, viewers are complaining about, right? So at base, you got to match that level. That's another thing where it's like for a lot of these streaming platforms in Web3, like Abstract, it's like you're not meeting that standard, that base standard, and you're not adding
I think.
features that are better, right? Like on top
Yeah.
of the Web3 aspect, right? That is a cool
Yes.
feature, but it's not enough. Um, so
By the
like
way,
the
do you know
multi-stream,
that in Xenon? Yeah, the
that's
multi-streaming, exactly. The
huge.
multi-streaming is not where they meet the standard, bro. The multi-streaming is where they exceed the
Yes,
standard.
that's
Exactly.
a feature of functionality that's like okay,
Exactly.
now it's like better.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you clip my stream, okay, let's say we take the clip of this right now,
Yeah,
and we save it, right? You can put a price on it, and it's an NFT, and somebody will buy that clip, and they will own that clip of that VOD. It won't be on your page anymore. It will be on their page, because they bought the clip of your the NFT of your clip.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That is awesome. But yeah, so
yeah.
like this screenshot that you showed me, like um when you're on
It gave me
Twitch,
hope, man.
you can see viewers, but it's very off sometimes, and you cannot distinguish who's there. You can see who has
Mhm.
been there. This
Exactly. This
already,
shows you who's there and
this
who was here.
this already is a feature that's already better than the standard. This screenshot
Yeah,
right here, current
I
viewers,
agree.
past viewers, peak viewers, like it shows you this is crazy. This is awesome to see. Because yeah, like it's already better than the standard. This one little function right here. So that's cool. See, like yeah, I'm excited for Xenon. I'm glad they're back. But it's really cool to see them uh, adding all these features very quickly and listening to the community. I'm glad that they have talented streamers like you with the feedback and they're actually listening, dude. Because it's so annoying when these projects do not take feedback at all. you know, like okay,
Yeah.
like if you, with your feedback that you mentioned, I don't know if you messaged in the group chat or via DM, the like a typical response from a lot of projects is like, oh, open a ticket and put it there. And it's like, all right, I'm not gonna open a ticket and put it there, because then it's gonna take like how many days for you to read it, and then how many days for you guys to talk about it, you know?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. We went so much back and forth about that afterwards in the DMs. It was a bit biased, you know?
uh,
But I know why he's a bit biased. And I know why he wants, because he knows what he has to finish first.
mhm,
You have proper tokenomics that ensure survival, and then you can think of what will take you mainstream.
yeah,
I was thinking what's gonna take him mainstream, because I didn't know that, like, I didn't know he didn't finish his tokenomics completely, or was still polishing them. I didn't know what was under the hood in terms of like full on Web3. I was speaking from purely from a streamer's side and what you could do to attract any streamer, no matter how big. They would want a functional, free restream to a new platform
yeah.
that has no limits on how many platforms you can stream to. Okay, that's something nobody has.
No one has that, dude.
That's something nobody has, bro. That's something the whole market would bow down to if done right.
Yeah, yeah.
He
That
knows that.
it's gonna be huge.
He,
I'm excited. Yeah, because once
but
they
the,
do the tokenomics, once they have TGE, then we're gonna see how well they implement all these other features. They're gonna have to be able to focus on a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's pretty exciting. But yeah, the multi-stream is a huge functionality, dude. Like you can onboard so many creators, right? That want to use it.
yep,
Maybe at first as just a restreaming platform, right? Which is fine, but they're gonna eventually get hooked once they start seeing
that's
all
the
the
thing.
other features.
That's the thing. They will. That's the beauty of it. They'll use it as a multi-stream, but by default, you're using the key of the platform, so you're streaming on the platform itself as well. Once they see people sub to them, okay, like for example, the intern pops in your chat, drops a tip of like $5 instantly. Like you have
Yeah,
$5 in your wallet, and a split second. And then he's like, okay, cool, that's a tip. And then he subs. Then he looks, and you got $4.75 out of that $5 of a sub was gone to my wallet immediately.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at it and he's gonna be like, huh, interesting. Then he's gonna see his points go up more because that's a subbed person watching him. He's gonna be like, huh, if I buy a sub for GhostCat for my channel, I pay $5, but that sub is for me, so I get back 4.75. So I allowed him to sub for 25 cents.
Yep.
You realize that?
They're gonna get hooked. It's such an easy way to.
As soon as you mess with it, you just have to
Yeah.
mess with it, bro.
And you got to see all the functions. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn the platform. They're gonna be like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can see this. Oh, I can see past and current viewers. Wow, there's a lot of info here as a streamer that you want to see, right? You want to see your CCV. You want to see your peak viewers, all there at once. On Twitch, you have to wait till you end stream
The stream
to
summary.
see your peak viewers and your concurrent viewers.
Yeah.
To be able to see that live as you're streaming is crazy. Those are little features that are above the standard, and I think once you hook creators like that with the multi-stream, they're gonna dive into it, and at some point they're gonna be like, hey, I'm streaming on Xenon, come watch me there. You know,
Hey, the platform's pretty good.
Yeah.
Come watch me there. It doesn't rip me off.
because if you promote it as just a multi-streaming platform, then you're like literally it's just free content for people to make too. Like, hey, this multi-stream platform is actually a cool streaming platform. Like, you're leaving it open for people, right? You're not shilling them.
Bro, I can already imagine it. The YouTube video, multi-streaming in 2025.
Yeah, and you're not shilling it as like a Web3 platform. You're not shilling the instant tips, right? The instant subs. You're not promoting that, but it's gonna stand out. It's gonna stand out so much to these creators, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a perfect opportunity for Xenon,
agree.
I think. So really cool. We passed the hour by like 25 minutes. I know
Oh,
it's
sheesh.
late. I know it's late for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Always a pleasure, brother. It's always a pleasure. It's never really that much.
Yeah, we just vibing here. We'll be back next week with episode 48. We are gonna have Troy on the podcast after TGE because he really wants to talk about that. So I already talked to him about it, so he
Yeah.
wants to wait for that because that's what he wants to kind of go over. You know, I feel like once he's able to talk about it, he's gonna have a lot to say. I feel like he's excited for it. So that'll be cool.
Yep.
And yeah. Maybe we'll have Bus on here again from Portals. They're busy too. Portals is doing a lot right now. Their game jam just ended, but dude, like, you should see some of the games that were made in just 3 weeks. It's crazy what the community can do.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
They're
on that.
motivated.
Yeah. So really cool stuff was made. But yeah, do you have any events or anything you're gonna be doing soon? That you wanna...
I think I'm gonna be. I think I'll even turn on a stream for a couple hours now. Possibly play some Off the Grid in the Biddle Discord because I am the community lead there. I am every Friday. I'm hosting Bad Mad Robots and giving away like $250 and a lot of loot boxes for the game. Every Thursday for the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna still be doing Lizard Labs game nights in the Lizard Labs Discord. And that's it for now. And other than that, I'll just be finding my way around the space and just feeling out the
Awesome.
vibe, taking some time for myself. So I'm glad I have no more than 2 events per week that I have to host, and no more than 2 to 3 that I would love to attend. And I'll also meet you guys on next Friday for the next Mooncast.
Let's go. Yeah, maybe we can get Maddox on here too, bro. I always love chatting with you and Maddox.
The problem is at this time he's always with the kids. That's the problem.
He'll
He's always
make
taking care of
room.
the kids.
He'll make room. I'm gonna make him make room. I'm gonna go
On Fridays.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know, bro. I think his wife would be mad. Not gonna lie.
I'll just have
We could check.
I'll have my wife call his wife so they can distract each other. W plan. But
So
yeah,
you plan.
for those of you listening in, I put Nopera's links in the description of the video, so go give him a follow. Check him out on Twitch, YouTube,
Appreciate it.
Xenon, Arena, wherever you like. He's gonna be streaming today, so yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying these podcasts. We've had about 7 hours of watch time on all the episodes so far, which is it's not a lot, but it is nice to see. Um,
Mhm.
so we having some awesome founders from the space on, and chill chats like this, just vibing. Really awesome. Thank you, Nopera, for joining today and for being
Worries.
another new co-host on the Mooncast.
No
So
worries. I'm happy to be here,
let's
Ghostcat,
go,
and
man.
it's just fun, man. It's just fun that I get to kind of spend time with you. It's more like, whenever I get free time, I'm like, okay, let's go spend some time with Ghostcat, and now I don't have to like worry about it because it's already scheduled, so
Let's go. Let's
it's
go.
easy now.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna peace out to the stream. Catch you guys on the next episode.